you've got health care already, then you can keep your plan if you are satisfied with it.
If you like the plan you have, you can keep it.
I intend to keep this promise. If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan.
If you like your plan and your doctor, you can keep them.
You'll be able to keep your health care plan. If you like your plan, you keep your plan.
If you like your doctor, you like your plan, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan.
If you like your current insurance, you keep that insurance. Period. End of story.
If you've got health insurance, you can keep it.
If you have insurance that you like, then you will be able to keep that insurance.
If you like your health care plan, you keep your health care plan.
Nobody's going to force you to leave your health care plan. If you like your health care plan, you will keep your plan.
If you like your health care plan, you can keep your health care plan.
If you like your health care plan, you can keep your health care plan.
No matter what you've heard, if you like your doctor or health care plan, you can keep it.
If you like your health care plan, you can keep your health care plan.
If you like your private health insurance plan, you can keep it.
If you like your private health insurance plan, you can keep your plan. Period.
Nothing in this plan will require you or your employer to change the coverage of the doctor you have.
If you are among the hundreds of millions of Americans who already have insurance, nothing in my plan will require you or your employer to change the coverage or the doctor you have.
If you want to keep the health insurance you got, you can keep it. If you like your plan, you can keep your plan.
If you like the insurance plan you have now, you can keep it.
If you like your plan, you can keep your plan. So if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. If you like your plan, keep your plan. If you like your current insurance, you will keep your current insurance. If you like your insurance plan, you will keep it.
If you're happy with what you got, nobody's changing it. If you're one of the more than 250 million Americans who already have health insurance, you will keep your health insurance.
If you have health insurance, the only thing that changes for you is you're more secure. If you already have health care, the only thing this bill does is make sure that it's even more secure.
If you've got health insurance, you keep your own insurance.
Today, I want to speak plainly, clearly, honestly. If you already have health care, you don't have to do anything.
And everyone who already has health insurance will keep the benefits and protections this law already has put into place. Period.
Period.
Period. End of story.
You have or had one of these plans before the Affordable Care Act came into law, and you really liked that plan. What we said was you could keep it if it hasn't changed since the law's passed.
I wanted to play that to pump myself up right before the show. Welcome to Outside the Beltway Radio. My name is Alan Lyon. I am your host. And I am pumped up. Whether it looks like it or not. This is ridiculous, can I just say, because we all know that what he said is not the truth at this point now. It's so irritating for me. To start, I'm on the opposite end of the aisle than him. I believe in fiscal responsibility. I believe in personal responsibility. And I don't believe the government should be getting into any of our business, to be honest with you. So, first, to start off, I'm going to give you a little background on myself. I am a registered Republican. I have voted conservative since I was about 20 years old. And since then, I have grown more to the libertarian strain of things, I should say. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do have some liberal point of views, too, when it comes to the environment. But I'll get to that on some other occasion. But my core beliefs now I will believe in and tell you that are libertarian. I don't want the government in any of my stuff. I don't think the government should tell me what to do, no matter what's going on. So getting into the healthcare business, because that's what the government's doing. They're getting into the business of healthcare. Between you and your doctor and the insurance company. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the system that we had before was perfect. But I'll tell you what, it was good enough for a lot of the people that are getting changes in their healthcare plans now, becoming a little more expensive as far as the premiums go, not eligible for some of the subsidies that were promises, even though the subsidies are still being paid by somebody else. Subsidies are coming from the government, right? People in the grand scheme of things forget that that's our money. What they're doing with it is just doing what they think's best for it, right? What happens is they get this pool of money, and you know, at this point in our country's history, we're not even playing with real money anymore. We're playing with monopoly money right now, guys. We're playing with money that our grandkids and kids are going to have to pay for later, unless a world economic collapses and we just start over from scratch. Everybody's even, and we'll work from there, right? I mean, it's getting out of control. But back to Obamacare. The premise of this law is just laughable to me. What I think about some academics, liberal academics, in a room somewhere talking about how we can get health care for everybody, the poor, everybody, right? We need to help everybody. It's the fairness kind of thing, right? I understand that health care is a necessity for almost every American, but these guys were in this room, and they were trying to figure out how it would be paid for, right? They were trying to figure out how it would be paid for. And their thoughts were, we think between 18 and 35-year-olds will be willing to pay more. We're talking about a part of our population that most of them don't even have health insurance because they don't need it unless something catastrophic happens. And some of them have the catastrophic plan that fits their needs. Who in their right mind, in your personal finances and your personal budget, would go, I'm going to pay for something that I'm never going to use? Who does that? Nobody. But what they're telling you is it's for the greater good for everybody. It's for the greater good. And the funny thing is, we're starting to find out as this thing rolls out, or not rolls out, because, you know, the suspensions of the mandates. They did that because if it all came down to the pike at once, I don't even know. There would be riots in the streets, I think. Because it's canceling everybody's existing plan. Unless you had a really, really nice plan, or you were rich and had these concierge doctors where you're paying a lot of money anyways, but you get killer service, you know. But everybody else is affected. The reality is that people that it's supposed to help are still getting hurt. And these people were fine with what they had before. They were paying their plans and getting covered. Like I said, I'm not saying it was perfect because some people would not get covered. But those people could have gone on a Medicaid or some type of other program that we could have developed. See, and this is a libertarian saying another program. But instead of taking over the whole thing, there's a small population of people that need help. Okay, let's help them. Everybody else can pay for it themselves. We don't need the government getting into your pockets and taking your money from you to pay for somebody else. Especially if it doesn't work. And I got an example, a personal example of why it doesn't work. You see, I have a friend that lives in Washington. And his son is a young boy. He doesn't even go to school yet. Okay? And this kid has tons of medical problems, one of them being asthma. My buddy, I talked to him yesterday, Thieves, you know who you are. He told me that the cost of just the inhaler. First of all, let me just tell you this. Under the Affordable Care Act, asthma medicines are no longer considered preventative care. And that's why the price is raised on his stuff. His price is raised from $30 to $300 for an inhaler. An inhaler. This is something that is life-saving. In the moment, not actual care, If it's not care, then it's preventative care. It's preventing him from dying when he has an attack. Otherwise, you have to get that person to the hospital within minutes, or else they might not make it. This is a life and death thing. And it's no longer covered under preventative care. So the price goes up. Now, this is just one thing. You add multiple things like that. Think if you have multiple problems, multiple medical problems. You start adding all those together, okay, when it was covered before. Or at least mostly before. You know, it was affordable to him then. And now it's becoming not affordable on something that he needs for his son's health. A life or death situation. Now listen, he might not have an asthma attack, but if he does, he needs that inhaler. $300. $30 to $300. $300. That is just out of control. You know, and you may agree with me or not, and I'd love to hear from him at ALYON at OutsideTheBeltwayRadio.com. You may disagree with me or not, but we deserve it. We deserve what we get because we voted this guy with his politics, his policies, 2 times into the office. 2 times. I know we were misled, and he flat out lied. He flat out lied. 36 times. I played that for you in the beginning of the show. 36 times. Until the end, actually 35 times. Because that last one was the actual truth. Partially, at least. We told you that if you had a good plan, you could keep it unless or if it wasn't purchased after or whatever he said. It was different. Okay? But we wanted hope and change after George W. Bush. That's what we wanted. We wanted hope and change, hope and change. And we just blindly picked somebody with very, very little experience in politics. 0 experience in leadership role. I was telling my friends in 2008, this is insane. I would rather have Hillary in the office than Barack Obama. I would rather have Hillary in office. She's shrewd, okay, but at least I don't know. I disagree with all her politics too. I was about to give an example, but there is no good example for her either. Anyhow, I am just so outraged by the government coming in and taking over 1/6 of our economy. A private industry, a private market, taking over, mandating prices, you know, on people and companies. It's outrageous. It's completely outrageous. I'm beginning to think this president is completely isolated. I think he's isolated. I think people around him are telling him one thing when reality is a whole nother thing. Because he seems so, even though you know not to believe him, he still seems so believable because the way he speaks about what he's saying, even though you know he's not telling the truth. If you know what I'm saying. So if someone who's, I don't want to say ignorant, but I'll say uneducated about politics, really votes on sound bites, here's stuff that he's saying, if they're not informed, like really informed, they don't realize that he's making bold-faced lies. Bold-faced lies. Which he's doing. Well, I mean, some people now that it's coming out and people are getting anecdotal evidence and all that stuff. I'll tell you what, the major networks do not cover this. Fox News does a good job. They actually do the only job on covering this. But it's a serious issue. And I'm surprised more Americans or even media outlets aren't outraged. Because we are getting to the point where our liberties are becoming infringed on. Our liberties. Not just freedoms, liberties. And this country was founded on liberty. Founded on liberty. It really scares me. It scares the heck out of me. And I'll tell you what, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but I feel like that we are heading down the wrong path. And unless in 2014 we save ourselves a little bit, get back on track, put another conservative leader in there in 2016, get the Senate back, I want to have the opposite of what the Democrats had in 2008. I want to have every house, the Senate, the House, and the presidency. Let us shove some of our legislation down their throats and see where that goes. I bet you one thing. It can't get any worse than it is now. With healthcare and our economy, it's out of control. And we're on a slippery slope, folks. Slippery slope. With that being said, I'm going to call it a show. Keep my shows pretty short. If you want to email me, it's alyon, ALYON, at outsidethebeltwayradio.com. Or you can tweet me at Alan Lyon at OTB Radio. I hope you enjoyed the show. I can't wait to hear your questions or comments. You might get one on air if it's good. Talk to you next time, guys. Bye.